What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Apostate of Mind. Now, for today's episode, we're going to lighten the mood. I'm going to share with you a recording of my guest appearance over at the Bird and Eden podcast with Bath and Mel. They're funny as heck. They're some of my favorite people on YouTube, and I can't wait for you to see what they're like. I must share with you their disclaimer that's on their YouTube channel. This podcast engages in dialogue and commentary about religion and how it can control all aspects of a person's life. Trigger warning: material may contain religious satire, topics of abuse, trauma, and sexually explicit humor. 18 and up only. So, with that, folks, let's kick it over to the Birding Eden podcast. I'll see you at the end.
Ooh, welcome back to another moist episode
Ooh.
of the Burning Eden podcast. I'm Mel, your favorite big titty heathen.
And I'm Bath, your suave, smooth, spicy Satanist.
So, Beth, are
Yes?
you doing anything fun for Thanksgiving?
I mean,
Since it's like days
white
away.
people colonization day.
Is there any kind? Any other kind?
Fucking white people.
Wait, is that what you're doing? Or
Let's get blasphemous. Let's get dangerous. You're in the bar. Get on the bus. I'll see you in hell. Bring it with your host, laughing now.
Absolutely not. My ancestors would cry if I fucked a white person.
but would the turkey taste better if you did?
Only if you use gravy as lube.
Don't tease me with a good time.
Well, if you want to help pay for my therapy bill, consider becoming a patron on patreon.com. If you go to patreon.com/burningeden666, you can support us for only $6.66 a month. You can be a heathen. Actually, there's another level below it if you don't have enough money. You can be a sinner for $3.
It's
you
so
know?
cheap.
You just help us like that. You can buy
Yeah.
chicken nuggets for Mel.
It's like an ounce of lube, you know?
An ounce, yes.
An ounce, yeah. That's all you need.
But yeah, if you feel like you really want to support us, you can be in the heathen level for 666.
Mhm.
We'll shout you out on every episode, which is pretty exhausting, but we'll do it.
It is. It
We'll
is.
do it. We'll do it just for you.
Just for you.
If you really, really like us, you can be a blasphemer for $20 a month. You start getting all this swag. You get a shirt, a t-shirt, a sticker, a poster, a hoodie.
Still waiting for those pasties, but you know.
Yeah, we'll be adding pasties eventually. But if you like us more than we like ourselves, you can be on the diabolical level for $50 a month. You get all of that swag, which stands for stuff we all get. You get a personalized video from us. You get early access to an episode, and we'll shout you out.
And he will show you his third nipple. It'll just be that picture. Just
That is true.
third nipple.
We will
You won't know which one it is, though.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery box picture. God damn
My
it.
nipples
Anyway.
work in mysterious ways, like the
Yeah.
Lord.
Like my lord. My
Oh,
lord.
my Lord.
Oh, I got the vapors. I do declare.
Oh,
God
my
damn it.
God. Oh yeah, before we start, fuck you, Trudy.
Oh yeah,
Here we
fuck
go.
you, Trudy. Yeah, we have
Yeah.
to. We have to remember to do it at the very beginning,
Yeah, that way she
Because-
watches.
right? Everybody can see it. Fuck you, Trudy.
Fuck you, Trudy.
God
All
damn it.
right, let's bring in our guest. Today's episode, we have the amazing Mark Peralta from Apostate
Look
of
at you.
Mind. I keep fucking it up. I want to say apostate state of mind, but it's apostate of mind.
You know, that's sort of like what we had intended, but we felt like we could shrink that a little bit and stuck to apostate of mind.
Apostate of
Like,
mind.
There
you
you
got
go,
the right
so-
thinking, yeah.
You're on the right track.
Well, welcome to the shit show.
Yes, welcome.
Happy to be here, guys. You're awesome.
Oh,
God damn it. I love it. But yeah.
So I don't have a third nipple though. That's
Oh. I mean, do you have
just want to put that out there.
any other third body part? that you could offer our patrons?
A third appendage of
A
some.
third appendage.
I don't know. I'll have to look. I'll have to look.
Well, let us know. Write an email when you find it, so
Yeah.
so we can offer it.
I'll be sure to include pictures too. If you
There you
want me
go.
to.
See,
God.
there you go.
He has to schedule a physical with his primary doctor.
Right.
Oh boy.
So these two assholes on this podcast want reference pictures. Something got a third appendage. I don't know.
I'm getting close to 50. That's kind of expected at this point, you know.
I mean, while you're up there, if you find something, let us know.
Yeah. I'll give you updates.
Third leg.
Yeah. That's what this world's come to. Updates on aging.
Yep.
You're almost 50, you said? Holy shit.
No, I'm actually 43.
Okay. So is
Yeah.
Mel.
So yeah,
Just kidding.
Wait. No, I'll be 37 in July, so shut the fuck up. And I'm only 6 months older than you, so shut up.
Yeah, I'll be
Bitch.
36 in January.
Nice. Yeah.
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 The 30s.
Old motherfuckers here. I like it.
Yeah.
We're mature.
So you've
Mature.
outlived Jesus. That's got to count for something.
Oh shit. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
Oh man.
I already
No.
yeah, we all did already.
But
Yeah.
I will say that I had one thing in common with Jesus is I like
Oh.
getting nailed. So
Yeah.
not specifically by Romans, but
Mhm.
just nailing in
Mhm.
general. Do you regret coming on yet?
Yeah.
You may have crossed a line there.
Kind of did, but I'm under contract,
Fuck
so
you. Oh my
I'm gonna
God damn it.
All right.
I
Well,
fucking
before
hate
we
you.
get started, do you know what time it is, Mel?
What time is it, Beth?
It's time for
The Bible verse of the day.
Per tradition, we would love the unholy guest to read the Bible verse of the day. What do you have for us?
All righty. So I am looking at Exodus 32:27.
Mhm.
And if I could just give you a little bit of context here.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's all that matters, the context.
Literally.
Yeah. Otherwise, we're just blaspheming for nothing.
Yeah.
So our context is Moses is up on the mountain meeting with God, okay, for the
Mm.
first time. And there, he's getting the law, the stone tablets are being carved, what have you. But he's taking his sweet time. He's taking a while, and the people that are, everyone else that's, they're following this cult, they're waiting at the foot of the mountain. They're getting desperate. So they turn to Aaron and remember the whole golden calf episode, right? They
Right.
build
Yeah.
this idol.
Right.
And then Moses eventually works his way down. And then when he finds out that they had made the golden calf, he gets really upset, even to the point that he
He
throws
smashes
the
them, right?
tablet. Yeah.
Mm.
How
he
long was
breaks-
he gone for that he had time to build a fucking statue and shit?
Yeah. He just said,
God.
fuck it. Fuck this.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing, this is less important, which is kind of ironic. And he
Yeah.
throws the law, right?
Mm.
And then he gets really mad. He then confronts his brother, who he had left originally in charge.
Mm.
The brother Aaron, the high priest, the
Mm.
guy who should know better. He's left in charge, and seems to sort of promote the whole thing. Because
Mm.
what happens is the people come to Aaron and they're like, "Hey, listen, Moses, he's not coming back,
Yeah.
and we came out here to worship Yahweh. So what do we need to do?" And Aaron was like,
We need
"Oh,
instructions, bro.
you know what Aaron said? He was like, give me all your jewelry. Give me everything you got. Like, you're just collecting all this gold." And then so Moses is like, "Okay, so that's what you said, right?" And then he's like, "Yeah." And then Aaron's response was, and then poof, out came out a golden calf.
Wow.
Literally what it says. So he's just like, whatever. It's not my fault. So then what happens is God gets upset, and he still doesn't like that. And Moses still doesn't. He's not convinced that the people should go unpunished for this great sin. And
Mm.
so that brings us to our favorite verse, which reads like this. Then he said to them, "This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says." This is Moses now.
Mhm.
He says, "Each man strap a sword to his side, go back and forth through the camp from one end to the other, killing his brother and friend and neighbors." And the
Nice.
Levites did as Moses did. And that day, about 3,000 people died.
So typical.
Mhm. Yeah. And if that's
Yeah.
not enough, later God sends out a plague that kills other, a few more thousand people.
All
Yeah.
loving God, you know.
That's right. That's that
I
loving
mean,
God that, we should be worshiping on Sunday. So
yep. Yep.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, if you
You
Amen.
want
hear
to
that?
send us your jewelry, guys,
I mean,
uh,
I want my own golden statue. That'd be amazing.
That's right. Yeah. I mean,
it'll
let's
be
Yeah.
do it.
anatomically correct with 3
Yeah.
nipples.
With 3 nipples. I don't have 3 nipples, but are we? Is it like a Baphomet combination?
Yeah.
Like the top will be yours, it'll be my tits.
Oh
But
yeah,
see,
it'll be the
it can work.
the Baphomet.
There you
Okay.
go.
Okay. It's
See?
getting interesting.
I'd
Yeah.
worship that. I'd worship that.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of those Asherah statues that are nothing but titties. I don't know if you've seen them, but
Yes. Yep.
just these big titties. That's what they
Yep.
used to worship.
Fuck yeah. I mean, I get
Mhm.
it. You know.
Yeah.
You gotta worship the mommy milkers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, and
And
that was the word of God.
The Bible verse of the day.
Amazing.
Would that cult be just like drinking instead of like the blood of Jesus? It's the milk, like the blood. Never mind.
the
Anyway,
goat milk.
You know, I like how these stories always say, "This is what God says," right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, apparently everybody believes the one dude who said, "You know what? God just told me X, Y, Z." And then we have
Yeah.
stories about God talking to this dude in private on the top of the mountain, and
Uh-huh.
apparently this is the word, like
Yeah.
the infallible word of God, because that's what happened, right?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because no one can see God and survive. Yet Moses did see God
Yeah,
and survive.
Mm.
He's
This
like
is
the only guy allowed to go up to see him.
didn't he see
Like,
his butt or something, his back or his butt,
well, yeah, it says like
something like
think
that?
it was
something that equates to like his groin or something.
Was it God's taint?
But
Oh my god.
yeah.
I'm jealous.
His collection
Francesca
of
Stavakopoulos, she's like an Egyptologist scholar.
uh-huh.
I love her. She's amazing. She
Oh.
says that it was actually the word actually means like his balls.
Yeah, that's
Moses
what
saw
Okay.
the testicles.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
the gutsicles.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh
but
yeah.
my
God
question,
was
yeah.
he was big on penis and
But my question is, like, was God circumcised?
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
like
Did
it.
it to himself,
I like
didn't
it.
he?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you've
yeah,
heard of El, right? Like for Elohim, where that
Yes.
comes from, El.
Yeah.
So the god El he circumcised himself.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
all right.
he asked his followers to do so. That's sort of like some people think that's where the whole Abraham Isaac thing comes from, is
Mhm.
because Yahweh El did that same thing.
yeah.
So it's not original. I
so
like it.
It's not original. Like
It's not
just
original.
almost everything else is not
Like,
original.
This is true. This is
Mhm.
true.
Yeah.
So we would love to get to know you a little bit better, more. Can you tell us your religious background and how you got to where you are today, being the unholy heathen atheist
In this
Yeah.
podcast.
So
in the spot? Yeah.
How
I
did you
was
get to this point in life?
sure. I know, like the most important thing about you. Um, I grew up in the Catholic Church business thing. So I was baptized as the baby, did the whole first communion. But then later as a teenager, didn't really care much for it. And then living in America, it was kind of easy to just step away. Because I grew up in Colombia, and there's like, you go to Catholic school, you go to Catholic church, everyone around you is Catholic. for the most part. But then in the US, it was easier. And so, I stopped going. And then later, as I grown as an adult, I started going to church after I got married.
Mm.
Um, like we were convinced by family, like, hey, you gotta have
Ah.
God, and because if you don't, then you're not never gonna have that intimacy, and your marriage will fail. So we started going to
Oh
church
my god.
and became full on
Oof.
evangelical.
No shit.
We got baptized,
Mm.
as adults, and
Whoa.
served in the church for over a decade, like leading Bible study groups. I would translate English to Spanish, like
Mm.
a simultaneous translation, so that people that came in that had English as second language could hear the gospel in Spanish, and I
Mhm.
provided that, just volunteer.
I've
Mhm.
seen videos
Um,
like that.
Ugh.
There's like a second preacher, and it's like just
right.
repeating everything in Spanish.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just saying everything that you're hearing and then, spitting it back out. Um, my lady, she's a singer, so she was in the worship ministry for
Oh.
years too.
Mm.
So eventually my calling got serious, where I got into Bible college, and so did an
Whoa.
undergraduate degree in Bible studies,
Mm.
along with a degree in biology as well, because I hadn't initially I wanted to be a dentist. And so I
Okay.
did the whole pre-medicine, everything in the
Right.
sciences, along with the Bible studies degree, because I was passionate about learning.
Mhm.
And then when it came to, like, upon graduation, I was like, you know what? I kind of want to go to seminary. Like, I want to take this further.
Holy
And
shit.
Mm.
I, went on the other way and stepped away from dentistry, and got a master's degree in biblical studies.
Damn.
Wow.
Huh.
I had no idea. Holy shit.
Uh-huh. And this is at an evangelical, like one of the biggest seminaries in the world. They say it's like the eighth or something,
Wow.
the theological seminary. Hmm. And so, I mean, I was just full on, like, I'm like, this is my calling. I want to learn the Bible. I want to teach theology. I wasn't like, I want to be a pastor. Didn't really care for like youth ministry or anything
Mm.
like that. I just wanted to like learn the information and then, convey it, and then, enrich people, like build people, right? Like you just
Mhm.
mind this whole bullshit. Like you got to equip others in the faith. And
Mm.
So, long story short, I'm in seminary. It's like a 5-year degree by the by
Oh shit.
graduation. I'm already working at a church. So I got hired as an associate pastor for kind of a mega church in Dallas.
Damn.
Now, associate pastor, I'm not like the owner of the church.
Yeah.
I'm like some hired
Yeah.
help, really.
Yeah.
I'm curious. How
Um,
much does that position pay?
I was
What?
wondering. I'm like,
Yeah,
ooh, how
sure.
much?
Yeah, I mean, I think my starting salary was like 45. So it wasn't
Mm.
like this huge thing.
Right.
It was just like, all right, I'll take it, and I
Yeah.
just
Right.
I just graduated. I honestly wanted
Right.
to go out and pursue PhD studies
Damn.
because I
Okay.
wanted to teach, and I'm like, masters is not going to cut it. But I'll go ahead and start working in ministry,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I can do kind of both. A lot of my colleagues would be full-time ministers and be a part of a PhD program. So I thought, why not? A year into my tenure as an associate pastor,
Mm.
I get let go
No.
in a very weird way.
Mm.
Was it because of the pineapple?
I wish it would have
I
been about a
wish we were recording
pineapple.
when we were talking about that. God damn it.
Well, we were recording. That's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
Oh,
talking out of context here. We were
Wow.
talking about the upside down pineapple swinger thing
Yes.
and
The-
old people fucking in
Just
Florida.
Google the villages pineapple.
The
That's all you need
villages
to know.
pineapple. Yeah.
mhm.
My bad. Anywho,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I got fired because of pineapple once.
No way. Did you flip the pineapple?
No, I was working at this Brazilian restaurant, like I was telling you before, where you
Uh-huh.
cut the pineapple.
Oh, they
Somebody
do bring a
complained
pineapple.
because they wanted the whole fucking thing, and I was like, no, I can't give you the whole thing. So I was petty spaghetti, and I was starting cutting little pieces, one at a
Of
time,
course you would.
just to
Oh my
fuck with
god.
them. And then everything just snowballed, and eventually I got fired.
Oh man, your
But I tell
pineapple
people I
got
got
flipped.
fired because of the fucking pineapple.
God damn it.
Okay,
Oh
back to your
man.
story.
Yeah.
Back to you now.
Yeah, back
All
to
right,
the other
ADHD
pineapple.
Back
here.
to the other
Mhm.
pineapple.
So
So you were like going
let's
a
see. I
weird
was
way.
let go in a weird
Yes.
way, and the weird thing was I kind of understood it, but then they fucked up, and
Oh,
this was happened.
Oh.
So at the end of the year, there's like they do end of year meeting. They talk about like the budget, all that business, and what we should do for the ministry next year. And one of those points that I championed in during that retreat process, whatever, was hey, we need a full time worship minister. At the moment, we just had some volunteers, but we really needed somebody that was there, like taking it seriously, because I had my opinion, and so people seem to agree. And but the meeting's over. I go out on a vacation and then come back a week later, and they're like, "Hey, my senior pastor approached me and he was like, "Hey, we're gonna have a meeting with so and so at 1 p.m. Can you be there?" And I was like, "Yeah." And that the other person was one of the elders, and it struck me as weird because I'm like, that kind of meeting doesn't happen
Mhm.
often, and much less with an elder. Like we're not usually working with elders,
Yeah.
and that's when they were letting me know that they were letting me go, and it was because they just couldn't afford me and a new worship pastor.
God damn it.
Yeah,
So they
right. So
took your idea but then fired you for it.
and yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh, maybe we should wait. We can't
Yeah.
afford them yet, so let's postpone it for next
Oh,
year. Let's
jeez.
find a way to raise money or something. I don't know. There's always a
Right.
way, right?
You're right. Right.
Or
Buy
perhaps
one less
we're too
jet.
young or something. It's not the right time, or God hasn't decided yet.
Right. It's not in God's plan.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not God's will.
Yep.
How
Yep.
much does the lead pastor make in such a mega church?
Well, see, that's the thing. Because later I found out who they hired, and they hired somebody from out of town. And
Oh,
whenever they hire a worship pastor
Mm.
from another successful ministry and they get transplanted, they're like little superstars. They
Right.
sure getting paid mad money.
Jesus.
Sure. And it's kind of a thing too.
Mm.
I think some churches they hire superstars because they know that worship ministry is
Right.
What's
Brings
very
in
gonna bring in the
crowds.
money?
Yep.
effective.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
God.
So we're gonna let you know. We're gonna let you go, Mark. And but you're welcome to stay and continue to do
Oh.
ministry.
For
Oh.
free.
For free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you're gonna pay my school loans. It's
Mm.
like, no, I gotta go. But so then I couldn't just walk away. They're like, how about we 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 want to have you come on stage on Sunday and give your goodbyes. So I'm like, man, you're gonna make this awkward already enough.
Oh,
And
no.
and then they hand me a piece of paper, and then that piece of paper was basically my own letter of resignation that I never wrote because I never resigned. And I'm stating that I'm leaving ministry to pursue other interests. And that's why I'm leaving.
Wow.
Wow.
And
I thought lying
yeah,
was a sin.
that was a
Hmm.
that was a lie.
Interesting how that works.
And so
Time for
yeah,
Jesus.
that was like, the last straw.
Yeah.
Mm.
Not with ministry altogether, but certainly with that church.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I seriously had to rethink what I was doing in life.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because so much had happened for this BS. Like we uprooted our family from one end of the metroplex to the other end of the metroplex to be
Mhm.
at this church, to be part of this community. We left friends, family that were close by that we don't even have more relationships with them anymore because of the distance now. They're
Damn.
still
Mhm.
affecting us.
Yeah.
And now we're like pouring ourselves over a new community. We really are. We're hosting people over, like people like me, and like, all right, there's a Colombian in the house, whatever.
Right.
And now you get hit with that. So it put a sour taste in our mouth.
Mhm.
Certainly, ended up giving ourselves like a couple of years of, hey, if we've been burned out, because you hear about pastors getting burned out in
Yeah.
ministry, and so if we if we're this is happening, then maybe give ourselves a break, and then we'll try something else. And we did that. We tried it. We tried other um, churches, other types of different denominations here and there. Some more
Yeah.
fundamentalist than others, and it just didn't feel the same. That from that point forward, it was as if we had taken a peek behind the veil, and we
Mhm.
noticed that this is
Mm,
bullshit.
Yeah.
That what people see from the outside is not what's happening on the inside.
Yep.
And that's not an isolated incident. There were other things that I won't
Oh,
necessarily have to get into or
of
even
yeah.
remember,
course.
but it was just a terrible experience.
Yeah.
Yep.
um so that's how stopped sort of like insisting on a fundamentalism, because I was very much a fundamentalist
Mhm.
in my theological beliefs.
Hmm.
Like, you had to believe in Jesus and you had to believe in his resurrection. And I believed in divine election, which meant that God had to, from before the beginning of time, predestined you to believe.
Oh,
Otherwise,
so
you
like a
could.
I
Calvinist
was about to
almost?
say, isn't
I
that
was a five
Calvinism?
point. Yeah, I was very much a 5 point Calvinist.
Holy shit.
I used to say, I'm most days I'm a 5 point Calvinist. Some days I'm a 4 point Calvinist. But for
So
the
what are
most
the
part,
5 points?
so it's like tulip. So, man, I already forgot. But
Oh,
you've
it's
got like
okay. I'll Google
irresistible
it.
grace
I'll Google
is
it.
one of those. Yeah, there's a bunch of bullshit now that it's not even like biblical, like per
No,
se.
it's not.
It's an invention.
Right.
And not everybody agrees, of course. And so I give up that whole notion of. So then I'm like, you know what? I used to when I was in seminary, I made it a habit to, on a weekly basis, I'll step because I'm always in the library, and then I'll be like, you know what? I really like this book. I've been working with it, and it's got all this information. Maybe I should buy one for myself, and then I would go and buy the same book. And so I amassed a little library of commentary and like critical stuff and like things that I'm like, they're not gonna teach this in classroom, but I'm gonna self learn this.
Right.
And so I had a lot of material to like read upon, and I had lots of questions while in seminary that I felt like were not answered. I
Mhm.
was not satisfied.
Mhm.
And so I just kept looking and digging, and I realized, hey, this book is not like this um, perfect, um, infallible
Mm.
book that does not contradict itself. That was divine, whatever divinely is inspired means by a god.
Right.
And certainly, this book presupposes that the Earth is flat, and I've been high up in the atmosphere where I can see that it begins to curve. So I'm not fooled by the bullshit. And
Yeah.
so there's no way this is true. So, but I'm still passionate about it. Like I still teach about biblical studies, and there's a lot of stuff that
Yeah.
my fundamentalist upbringing Christianity gets it
Mm.
wrong, and so I enjoy sort of debunking a lot of the Christian stuff. And
Mhm.
recently, we did an episode on circumcision. That was fun too. Lots of bizarre things about God and penises and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like
Upside
why the
upside down pineapple,
obsession?
It's kind of a dick move.
for sure. Yeah, he loves foreskins. He loves barbecue. Oh
It's
yeah,
beef jerky. That's what it is.
yeah, and he loves wine. Like he was really like, Yeah, he
Yeah.
loved wine.
Ugh, what a
Mm.
So
combination.
I have a
Very
question.
good.
I'm curious because you said you had an undergrad in biology.
Uh-huh.
Um, were you still at that point when you were doing your undergrad? Were you fundamentalist still? Not still, but
Oh
were
yeah.
you or yet?
Oh yeah. I was a
So how did
fundamentalist.
you reconcile biology with like creationism and all that shit?
Well, so I graduated from a Baptist
Ah, never
university,
mind.
so that doesn't count.
Oh my god.
Yeah. However, I do remember in biology class, like in biology 1 and 2, you learn evolution,
Hmm.
and the professor, he did kind of go over like, all right, so this is like evolution, and we believe in like macroevolution. So they were
Mm,
pushing kind of like an in between
yep.
BS that's not anything, that
Yeah.
doesn't work, because
Yeah.
there are no intermediary species. There are none of that BS. These
Yeah.
categories don't work that way. But that's what they're like emphasizing. And I remember hearing a different story from when I took genetics. And I remember disliking my genetics professor
Mhm.
because I felt she was a little too liberal with that
Ugh.
genetics. Yeah. So, I mean, I was a total idiot. And yeah, fundamentalist to the core, man.
Mm.
They used to say, they used to call me Icy Mark, because I was that cold.
Oh no.
Holy
Yep.
shit.
Yeah,
So
and I'm a
what
full blown atheist.
so what happened? What happened?
Who hurt
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. So I mean, regarding the Bible, when I'm like, hey, so scholars have strong enough reason to believe that there's not even a historical Moses. Like the guy did not exist.
I know.
Yeah. Mm.
And so there's very like very little evidence of anything that could be counted as like an actual presence of Jews in Egypt. So all that is seems like it's just very mythological. Then I'm reading the older myths, like the Sumerian myths,
Mm.
Yes. Yep.
the Babylonian stories of creation,
Yep.
and the Epic of Gilgamesh, and all that.
Yes.
And they have floods, and they've got stuff that sounds just
Ah.
like Genesis, you
There's
know?
the
Ah.
boat too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, how did that happen? Like, did Yahweh not? He not aware of the flood narrative
He was having like
with
a
food that
writer's
fished
block.
him?
Okay. He was
Right.
writer's
Yeah.
block and he was like, you know
Yeah.
what? I think I'll take that from the ancient Egyptians. Virgin story? Yeah, got it. Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. So did he copy? Was he a plagiarist? You know.
Sure.
Um. You know, and
Yeah.
I know it's not in one extreme. It's not like they're like copies. You know, they're not like
Right.
plagiarizing, but there are these ideas. They're called archetypes. These
Mhm.
concepts of,
Right.
you know, where we came from. Like one that I find truly fascinating is the myth of Adapa. I don't know if you've heard of Adapa and
I
the South Wind.
mm-mm.
That's
Method
I
another
haven't.
of sorry, of what? What is it called?
Adapa,
Adapa.
Adapa, the myth of
Mm-mm.
Adapa.
No.
So he was sort of like the Babylonian Adam,
Mm.
and that
Oh,
he was like
okay.
the first man. But he wasn't just a wimpy guy like in Genesis. He was like, you know, he was in charge. He was the head of his village, and he had
Mm.
the
Yeah.
responsibility to feed them. So he would go up every morning and fish. That
Mm.
was his thing. So then one day he's out there fishing, and then a south wind, a wind from the south, blows the, you know, his ship, and then, you know, capsizes, and he almost kind of drowns. And
Mm.
when he comes out of the water, he's so upset that he curses upon the south wind.
Mm.
Mm.
And according to like the mythology, uh, Adapa had knowledge of how to like say things, kind of like spells and incantations and
Okay.
stuff like that, because
Yeah.
you know the God that created him, he made him that way, so that knowledge was already shared. In fact, the way that Babylonians thought when it came to the first living beings, it was not like Adam, that he lacked the knowledge of good and evil.
Mhm.
They were given the knowledge of good and
Oh.
evil from the beginning. They were given wisdom. What they were not given was immortality. So
Okay.
Adapa was immortal.
Okay.
And it was in this fear of him losing his life that he cursed the south wind, but he really did curse it
Mm.
where it stopped blowing. Okay.
Okay.
So then the God over everything, especially because I think it was, he's the God of like the storm. He's like, what the heck?
Mm.
What happened to the south wind? How dare you change the course of
Yeah.
creation or
Right.
whatever? So he summons Adapa, right, to answer for what he's done. But before Adapa visits this God in heaven, the God who created Adapa, who was another God, he was like, "Hey, listen, just so you know, when you go meet this God, don't eat of the bread and water that he has to offer you,
Mm.
okay?
Mm.
Because it's gonna kill you. You will surely die." Okay,
Mm.
so then Adapa is summoned, and then he is in the presence of the main god
Mm.
Anu, and come to find out, Anu takes pity on the guy, and
Mm.
so Anu sort of has a change of mind.
Yeah.
It's kind of unclear too. Scholars will say, well, we're not quite sure whether he had a change of mind or he never had this in mind in the first place
Mm.
to give him a bread and water that would kill him, like a poison. That was never his intention.
Mhm.
Or maybe he changed his mind, but he ended up offering Adapa a bread of life and a water of life that would have given him immortality.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Oh.
But then Adapa refused the bread and the water because he followed the advice of the other being who
Right.
said, don't do it because you will surely die.
Right.
And so he denies it. The main god says, you know what? That's cool, but I don't like that gesture either. So go back to earth where you belong.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, get out of here. And so therefore, this is how the ancient Babylonians, through the myth of Adapa, reason, okay, why do people die? Well, because the
Mm.
first man refused to eat of the bread of
Oh.
and life and water of life.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Doesn't sound made
Yeah,
up at all.
No, not
yeah.
at all.
No, right? I mean,
But
it's
like that's
uh,
still an amazing, a better story than what fucking
I like it
Christianity.
better than the other one. There's a
so
Like
lot of
yeah.
myths that are
shit.
better.
I love
That's what I
mythology. Like,
said.
oh god.
I thought the same. I'm like, you know what? This is a better concept. The
Right?
Yeah.
first man
Yeah.
was given just wrong or false advice, right?
Right.
The
Mhm.
first
Big
case
reach.
of
Yeah,
misinformation.
there you go.
Yeah. So, all right, we're cool. But
Right.
no, in
Mm.
Judaism, we're going to make it about that you rebelled and you
Mm.
did not obey.
Victim
And so now
blame.
you're dirty and now you cannot
Ugh.
be part of holy space. And so you got to go. And so we're going to make it about morality.
Mm. Yep.
Yeah. So,
Oh god.
yeah. So I wish that, we could have done some editing back in the day and some of these stories would have been more meaningful had they been part
Right?
of our tradition.
Oh my god.
Because really these traditions had died. Like it was not until like the past 200 years or less where archaeology has dug up all these tablets and
Mm.
things where these stories were recorded that predate anything that's biblical
Yeah.
Mm.
by hundreds of years.
Right.
We know for sure,
Yeah.
archaeologically speaking, that
Mhm.
these things are before the Bible.
But I thought
Yeah.
Christianity was the one true religion. How could
Wah,
that
wah,
be?
Christianity.
wah.
Oh yeah, Christianity is sort of like
Ugh.
it's like Mormonism. Christianity to Judaism is like Mormonism to Christianity. It's the same thing.
It's the
It's like
It's the same
fan
thing.
fiction.
Yeah, look, they
it's,
took
they're the
the
worst
Hebrew
fan
Bible,
club. Oh my god.
right? The Tanakh, which is the
Tanakh.
Hebrew Bible. They said, "Hey, you know what? This is ours too. And
Boink.
we'll just like add like this tiny section there we call the New Testament."
See, original.
Yeah. So that's the kind of stuff that just like, that I
Like,
enjoy picking
mhm.
at and, talking to people about.
Fuck yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So, at what point in life did you like look back and you're like, yeah, I don't believe this anymore. This makes no sense. I'm an atheist. How did
Uh-huh.
that?
I
When
just
did
want
that
to
happen?
sin.
Yeah,
Is it a
so that
long
was
time
like
ago?
I'm gonna say 2 to 3 years now, so it hasn't been very
Shut the
long.
fuck up! Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
what?
Mhm.
okay.
Very
Yeah, now
recent.
I'll say like we did have a long period of transitioning out where we
Of
seriously
course. Yeah.
questioned,
Right.
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
it involved like a lot of study and learning and dialogue, because
Mm,
it didn't really happen like independently, although some of it was an independent realization.
yeah.
But at the same time, my wife and I, we would talk about this, on a daily basis. Like, hey, I learned this. Did you know? No, what is that about? So like much of like
Wow.
everything that we've done in our podcast,
Mhm.
my wife and I have talked about it 2 3 times already, and
Yeah.
it's just been like an ongoing conversation between her and I, where we've been able to discuss and bounce a lot of ideas and renounce to stupid beliefs, and
Hmm.
kind of stone sharpening stone, or was iron sharpens iron in that way.
Yeah.
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 Well, that's cool that you had that support and you both kind of at the same time deconstructed together. It sounds.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although she'll say that she had stopped believing in God before I did, that I
Mm.
held on to it the longest. And then she also had a bit of a kind of a new age diversion, a little deviation. She
Mm.
kind of held on to some souls and things like that,
Oh,
which then later she deconstructed from as well.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, what was the
Hmm.
hardest thing? Like, what did you hold on to the longest?
Hmm.
Right before you were like, you know what, fuck it, atheist.
Was it the
Well,
God
Yeah.
concept itself? Because a lot of
mm,
people start deconstructing with the religion first, right? The belief system, the history, the myths. But then at the end, they're like, I
Mhm.
think I still believe in a higher power, you
mm,
know?
Yeah, so I didn't really hold on to the higher power deism agnostic BS. To me, was
mm,
like the moment I realized this is not trustworthy, and
Mm.
it's the work of man, and understood enough how is it that is actually a work of man. That's when I'm like, well, if that's not true, then the God in there isn't true, and if the
Mm-hmm.
God in there
mm,
isn't true, then what reason do I have to believe in another version of the same BS, like the Islam God or the
right.
Hindu God or what have you? Like, it's the same thing. You apply the same, you reject all these other claims if
Mm-hmm.
they're all doing the same thing, right? I don't think anyone has anything that's exclusive or unique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Wow. Oh gosh. But yeah.
Well, that's cool. Welcome to
Mhm.
the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have snacks.
We
We
do.
have snacks.
We have cookies and
Yeah.
pineapples, but if you're not ready for a pineapple just yet, it's fine.
Yeah.
God damn
Kind
it.
of puts a whole new spin on the Pineapple Express movie.
No.
I don't know. Maybe there's something. Let's watch it again.
Damn, that's a Rule 34 Pineapple Express. Like,
Yeah.
oh god, no.
Put
God
a
damn it.
spin on it. Get it?
Hmm.
Sit and spin on it, okay? God damn it. It's terrible. So you have a podcast, a
Hmm.
apostate of mind. We can,
Yes.
yeah. So how did that become to be? How long have you been doing this podcast?
Yeah. So it's gonna be. It just. We just hit the 1 year mark. So we started November last year.
Fuck
Hmm.
yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been really interesting. We're still learning.
Mhm.
We started a little more. We started on the gory side. Like my first idea was a show called Dissecting Religion.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, and had made this very bloody animation of somebody dissecting a Bible with like a big sharp knife and whatnot. All this
I mean,
blood coming out. Like, I was just so like militant. Like, we're gonna destroy Christianity and
I
whatnot.
ripped
But
Bible pages. I think he's burned a couple pages, but yeah, fuck
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's just
Actually,
cathartic.
I did in the so I started before I started my channel.
Mhm.
I had already been part of our atheist experience in Spanish. And
Okay.
this was sort of like the first community that belonged to at first.
Mhm.
Nuestra
So that
experiencia atea, right?
Nuestra Experiencia Atea. That's right, with Teo El Ateo. And he's a wonderful guy, and it's a awesome group of people. And so they welcomed me in. They heard my story. They thought, "Yo, you got to tell this to others, and let's have you in the show." And I'm a regular now. Every Sunday I'm there live, and we do a couple of programs. One is we read through the Bible. In fact, we're soon to complete the whole Torah. So we've done Genesis, Exodus,
Oh.
Wow.
Leviticus. Now we're gonna do Deuteronomy. We also did all four of the Gospels as well. Where we
Okay.
did a read through, and we compared them side by side. And you could not imagine how ridiculously contradictory these things are.
Right?
Mm,
Yeah. So when you read one story in one gospel and then you read the same story in the other gospel, it's like you got two different stories.
mm. Nope.
So it's, man, we were so fooled.
Blinder
And
on.
so
Spanish.
yeah, we do that kind of stuff in Spanish, and then I
Mhm.
started doing it on my own with Apostate Anne. So
Fuck yeah.
it's been fun.
Apostate Anne is she your wife?
Yeah, she is my wife.
Mhm.
Yeah, and co-host.
Nice.
I like it. I
Yep,
like
yep.
it. So, is there a lot of Spanish atheists? Because like, how big is
Mhm.
that community? Because I don't. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
much smaller.
Hmm.
I don't think that we have countries that are as liberal as some European countries might be, some English
Hmm.
speaking countries might be. But what I do know, it certainly is that I think they're a little more persecuted by the religious folks.
Mm,
They
okay.
tend to be very fundamentalist,
Yeah.
especially like the cults. We're talking
Mm,
small villages, people that are like everybody knows each other, so you
right.
can't get out. If you do get out, you get outed, and it's a big old mess.
Mm.
So, like for example, two of the well, the other two hosts of Nuestra Experiencia Tea are still caricatured behind a caricature. They won't
Oh,
show their
okay.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah, Teo and Alma, they're still behind the caricature. And it's because their life could be endangered by that. So
Fuck. Mm,
yeah, no, and that's why I just love being part of that community, because people do need to hear other viewpoints.
mhm.
And I feel privileged that in America I get to be in front of this camera and be able to do this and say and speak my mind,
Right.
um, with a little more freedom.
Yeah. And a big shout out to Lisette, who's
I
part
love
of
the set.
Yeah,
Experiencia
yeah,
Atea. I got to hang out
yeah.
with her in Canada.
Canadia.
That's right. I did see some pictures, man. You guys were in a beautiful place.
Yeah, that freaking lake. Holy shit. That was
Wow.
we went to Lake Louise. I took a white girl Instagram photo
Yeah,
on the boat.
that's unreal.
Fucking late. God
It's
damn it.
insane. But yeah, big shout out to Lisette.
So yeah, a lot of wonderful people, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this community minus him.
Mhm.
Like over like I have to bully the man to
So
keep
Yeah.
rude.
him down here. You like keep the ego down. Anyway,
You gotta put up with him.
Anyway, Mel has to go. She just has to go. Now the man can talk.
Let the man talk.
listen, people don't watch this show for you, okay? So shut up. I was gonna say, God damn it. I don't remember what I was saying.
Fuck you, Mel.
Fuck you.
And fuck you, Trudy. Yeah.
Oh, good
God
Trudy.
damn it. God damn it. Fucking hate that
We're gonna
shit.
come up. We're gonna have to
And-
get a song,
Yeah.
a theme song.
I want a song, I want animation, I
Jingle.
want
Can you
Go
tell me
ahead.
more about Trudy? I feel like
You
that's
don't
something
need
I
to
don't know.
know.
Is she not
what did
worth
she
it?
write? It was the episode where we were I can't remember who it was we were talking about, but we were talking about like racism and just
Uh-huh.
and she commented like
You mean like the stuff that the Bible promotes? Yeah.
right on it.
Mhm.
But but she's an
Yeah.
atheist. So it's
Yeah.
obviously there's like a whole wide range of atheism left on the left
Which
and
we
on the right,
get.
which
We get it.
whatever, yeah.
Whatever.
But
Mhm.
but um on the episode about racism, she was like, "Oh, this is woke bullshit, blah 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 blah,"
It's too
or
woke.
it's too woke or some shit. And so she'll comment like every other episode or so, she'll hate watch us. And so
Mhm.
he catches it. He catches because we have a shared account on the YouTubes. So but he'll catch her comment before I get to it, and oh my god, the responses just so yeah, it's a fun back and forth that we with
Okay.
that with I don't know if it's a real person. I try to Facebook her, but she won't show her face. It's one of those
Mhm.
like you just plain old,
The
profile
last
picture.
time she said something that I
It
was
was
nodding off
so
watching the
fucking
episode,
funny.
but then what did she say? Something about entered me.
I don't know, but yeah.
And then I say, well, I'm glad something entered you.
So
Oh, no, she said, oh, yeah, sorry. I must admit, I zoned out a bit, but when in, I'm sorry. But what went in sounded very good. And then I said, I'm glad something went in. You know?
the fucking sound I made when I read that, I was at work and I was like, God damn it. Fucking
Mhm.
A. But yeah, so like we hate her as much as she hates us. So fuck you, Trudy.
Fuck
Yeah,
you, Trudy.
that's right. And don't let her flip that pineapple. Keep that pineapple upside down.
Nobody's sticking anywhere in that
She keeps
pineapple.
flipping
Okay.
it upright. That's not cool.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're an upside down pineapple podcast, okay?
Yeah.
God. Ugh, fucking Trudy. But yeah,
Why
so
not? I mean, why not?
have you with your podcast and all the places you are on the internet, do you get any
Mhm.
like hate or like death threats or any of that fun stuff?
I really haven't seen any death threats.
Okay.
But I mean, I do run into an occasional insult, and
Yeah.
Mm.
you're gonna go to hell, or you'll find out when you die. That
You
kind of
find out
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the best one, right?
yeah, yeah,
I
like,
Just you wait.
yeah,
Just you
yeah,
I
wait till you're
love when
done.
yeah,
they threaten us with something that we don't believe in. It's
right.
like, just you wait until the muffin man gets you. I'm like, "Ugh, okay, does he taste good?
Mhm.
Like, what am I waiting for? But yeah,
I
I
know, yeah.
yeah,
Or
uh,
they'll pepper in like the especially now. You'll find out soon,
right.
especially now, because second coming is coming.
But it's rescheduled like 10,000 times. Like,
In the last days of the last days of the end times of the times of the
there's
end.
wars and rumors of war. Bitch, we've been warring since we've been fucking born. Good lord.
It's
Oh my
been nothing but a
god.
rumor of war.
Yeah.
That's
I just think that like the rapture did happen, but the Christians are so shitty that they got left behind.
yeah.
God damn it, man.
Yeah, well, actually, you're not too far from kind of the truth, because it seems like the disciples and them, they thought that the end was going to be within their generation.
Mm,
Yes.
mm.
Yeah, that's
Also,
what they
Jesus said he would
understood.
come back, right? He said he was going to come back in your lifetime.
Yeah, same
He
thing. Yeah,
lied.
yeah, that's right. So it's like,
Procrastinator.
okay, so since then they've been like double talking their way out of that bullshit. Like that's
God.
justification after rationalization after rationalization.
Mm,
Mhm.
Yeah, so
yeah,
trying to keep the dream alive.
it makes for good content, at least. Makes it easy to make fun of them. So you're like,
Yeah,
hello.
people need that fear to stay motivated.
Mm,
Apparently,
yep, 100%.
Do you think that there's any use for religion?
No, I think that there are some things that there are some areas of humanity or life that perhaps religion has embraced or does, but for the most part, I can't think of anything that religion can do that some secular, professional, medical, scientific
Yes.
Yes.
thing could do better.
Mm.
You know, so and the same goes with like good deeds. I can't think of any good deed that only a religious person can do that an atheist cannot do, or
Yeah.
secular. So I really don't. I think that we honestly, as a society, as a species, we could recognize that it was perhaps useful,
Mhm.
that there are some things about it, some aspects of it that are like important to like continue to remind each other
Hmm.
about and preserve, stuff like that. I think that's what I do in my channel is we try to kind of bring to light some of the things that fundamentalism and like these crazy religions want to continue affirming and
Yeah.
get whatever. And while there are some things that could be useful, but like the religion and all that stuff,
Hmm.
there's no need.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like I get that religion was used as a way to
Hmm.
explain why the sun is or whatever. But now that we
Yeah.
have like the actual answer to like some things, I think
Right.
we need to like just leave religion behind so the society itself can progress and we'll be a
Hmm.
lot better place.
Yeah, certainly. Like the way that people stopped looking at works like the Iliad and the
Mm,
Odyssey as religious texts,
yeah,
because
Mm.
believe it or not, that's kind of like that was their Bible. They used to read those books and thought, oh yeah, that's where the gods came from. Oh yeah, that's how the
yeah,
world came to be. So now people don't read those books and be like, oh wow, don't you read the Iliad? Haven't you read the Iliad? That's the book of life. No, no one really cares about that. It
right,
still is a great work of literature. It
yeah,
has
yeah,
lots
but
of value to it.
right,
Let's read it, no problem. If you don't, you're not gonna go to hell or anything. But
right.
you know,
Just treat it
that's
as
sort of like the same
mythology,
approach we need with
right?
regards to this book too. Like, why are we making an exception for the Quran and the
Mm.
Bible and
Yep,
the Tanakh? Why?
right.
It's
Because we have to respect religions,
No, we
apparently.
fucking don't.
yeah,
No, we
shit.
fucking don't. Especially when your religion is so fucking harmful. Ugh.
And
Um,
invasive in other aspects of life
right,
that really has no business getting into. So
right, right. So,
yeah.
excuse me. One final question for you. What advice would you give someone newly deconstructing from their faith?
Hmm. I mean, I guess just kind of depends what they are actually deconstructing from,
Mm,
honestly.
Mm.
okay.
So, I mean, if they're deconstructing from a cult,
Hmm.
wow, get some help, get some
Mhm.
professional help. Start there. If professionals, and I mean people outside of the church,
Like
Mhm.
like
secular, yeah.
actual, yeah.
Yes.
Um, and I've sought counseling before, and one of the first questions I ask, like, hey, like, can we do this without the God religion talk?
Mm,
And if they say no, then you get out of there. But
yeah.
so yeah, get some help. If they think you don't need any, then you don't. And then get some friends, people that have come out of that same
Yes.
tradition. Don't try to seek others from other religions because they may not relate,
Mm,
and you may feel a little awkward perhaps. But I don't know. I'm not really an expert on these matters.
yeah.
But I think, yeah, depending on where they're deconstructing from, then I might be able to give some more detailed advice, perhaps.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And I think this is a
Mhm.
good time to give a shout out to Recovering from Religion.
Yes.
Amazing nonprofit
Yeah, that's
organization. Yeah. So if you go to
mhm.
recoveringfromreligion.org, they have a chat function where you can chat with peer support specialists, I guess you could call them, volunteers who are trained.
Yeah.
And if you're seeking hope, healing, or support, if you're deconstructing or doubting your faith, this is the perfect place to go. You can also call 184 I Doubt It if you prefer to talk on the phone. 24/7 support on all time zones, except for the one where there's just water. Uh, and they have, I guess you could say, cohorts or smaller groups like ex Jehovah's, ex Mormons, ex Muslims, where you can talk to other people who have gone through similar experiences. So it's pretty
Mhm.
awesome. And they also have the Secular Therapy Project, seculartherapy.org. That is their website, which is a registry of therapists who are not affiliated with any type of faith, religion, any type of, they're not going to make you pray,
Mhm.
like actual mental health
Yeah.
support. So yeah, check it out. Recovering from Religion. Big shout out to Dr. Daryl Ray and Gail Jordan. We love you
Yes.
guys.
Fuck
Fucking
yeah.
love you.
Go
That's
Flint's
awesome.
goats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so then your podcast is Apostate Podcast. That is how you find it on YouTube. right?
Apostate of mind.
Well, I looked it
Yeah,
up,
so
and that's what
add
came
the you
up.
can add apostate of mind.
Always fucking up. You had one job.
That's what came up when I looked it up. Yeah, when you go to youtube.com/at apostate podcast, that is the address that I found. But anyway, you can check, I'm sorry, you can look it up as Apostate of Mind podcast.
Yeah. I apologize for
I'm
him. He's
just
not
telling you.
professional.
God damn it. That's just what came up, okay? Apostate of Mind podcast.
There you go.
Hey, we can show it if you share my screen up. I've got it up on my
I
computer.
have it right here too.
Yeah.
Boom. There.
There
Yeah.
you go. So here you can see
Oh, I
our
love the
channel. There's apostate Anne.
Hey.
Yes. Oh, we gotta have her on the show
Yes.
too.
So,
Yes.
oh, please, yeah, she'd love to stop by.
Oh yeah.
She's
We
gonna
had
watch the
recently-
episodes and like fuck.
He's like,
no.
oh, these fuckers.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now she,
Awesome.
I think she grew up a little more like New Age, but her family was very much like fundamentalist evangelicals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send us her email. We'll send her a message. And
Sounds good.
I mean, you live with her, so you could also just.
It's like,
Yeah.
hey, babe.
I'll forward the email. I'll be sure to include an upside down pineapple. too.
Yeah. Then we know it's real. Okay. We play well with others. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
God damn it.
Well, thank you so much, Mark, for
Yes.
joining us today. That was great. We appreciate you. You're a fucking badass.
But you guys
Yeah.
are awesome.
Oh, stop. Don't lie.
Lying is a sin.
Not anymore.
Yeah, you right. You right. You right.
Yeah, get the fuck with that shit. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. That's how it ends most days in this house.
God damn it.
We wanted to remind our listeners that we have a merch store. The link is in the description of this video. If you know, you know.
Can barely wink.
Wink. I
Please
can't wink.
Do you
Don't-
have a T-shirt with an upside down pineapple on it?
No, but we have a t-shirt of her fucking Jesus.
Oh, that's better. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You should-
She's
so-
a strap on. Yeah.
He's
It's
gagged
Oh,
and everything.
wow.
Yeah, and he's burning down Eden because burning Eden.
Yeah.
But I have my priorities, okay?
Yeah.
Sure,
Sure, I know.
Listen, it's just Uno reverse. He wanted to be inside me this entire time, but guess what, bitch? Surprise. Anyway,
Those are the
please-
consequences.
please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, smash that like button, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new episodes.
Hopefully they still come
Hopefully.
out every Monday, but you never
And
know.
none of us get COVID. That's next week. It's fine.
But they are available. The episodes are available as audio only, if that's what you prefer.
if you
You can go
can.
But this is more fun. You gotta watch this on the YouTubes.
Yes, he'll
But-
show that he flashed his third nipple like 3 times. Like you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
missed it.
Yeah,
Like-
you missed it.
And
So
we found the extra appendage that Mark had, so that was amazing.
my noodly appendage.
Sure, yeah. And
Shit.
how else would you see all of this?
I know.
I mean, come on.
So many appendages everywhere.
Yeah.
You
God
go to
damn it, that's like a pineapple.
tiny.cc/burning Eden. Tiny.cc/burning Eden. That is the website, and that's where you can find all of the platforms where we stream our podcast.
But there's nothing tiny about it. Anyway, we follow us on Twitter, I guess.
I haven't touched that shit in a long time.
Well, if you want to follow us there, whatever, at BFML666, mine is at Meltree Fitty, and his is at BFML666.
Yeah, I honestly haven't touched it in a long time. The
That's
Twitter.
what he said.
The Twitter.
Oh, okay. I'm glad.
Okay, so see,
Jesus Christ.
see.
Yeah. I think you need to stop by another one of those places with the upside down pineapples and come back.
Duchess, here I come.
Yeah.
Ew.
You leave work a little bit extra early and then,
You get that gilf, Beth. You get that
Yeah.
gilf.
Acquaint yourself one more time.
Oh,
Best
God.
gum job you'll ever receive.
Ew, shut
Like,
the fuck up. Ew. Okay.
Ooh,
You
yeah.
got, if you go to patreon.com/burning in 666, you can become a supporter like Rod H,
right,
Atheist Chico,
go,
Evelyn B,
Evelyn. I love you.
Will H. Thank you for your
Yes,
service
Will.
riding camels in Egypt and shit.
Yes.
Thank you, Land. Thank you, Robin. And thank you, Lisette.
Lisette.
We love Lisette.
And then we can't forget our OG Kit on Anchor. I love it. I fucking love it.
You guys are all amazing.
Yes. Thank you for supporting all of our
yeah.
appendages and pineapples.
I mean, this shit costs money. It really
It does. It does.
It's
But we will be
hard.
at AACon 2024. So
Okay.
at least
Yeah.
I will.
We plan on being at the
Where is that happening?
It's in Philly.
Philly. You should
Oh,
come.
okay.
So go with us. Come on.
Yes,
Let's meet
we'll have
up.
a table. It's the cool people table. Well, it's
Okay.
the second.
Sacrificial table.
Yes. You will
Uh-huh.
get Bible spankies if you're consented to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is
we
it
have-
the King James Bible or could it be another
whichever
Bible?
Bible you want to be spanked with?
That is true.
You know,
could
it's
choose.
BYOB. Bring your own
Yeah.
Bible. So,
Bring your
yeah.
own Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should get one of those paddles like the ones that the
Yeah.
fraternities use and attach a Bible at the end.
We can put our
Mhm.
logo on it. Oh my
Yeah.
god. I wonder if Mick Fish will allow us. And okay. All right. Awesome.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Always a pleasure.
I'm also considering submitting a proposal to present. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe yes, maybe
Do it.
not.
Do it. Do it.
But yeah, thank you so
Yes.
much, Mark. You're amazing. That's it. That was
go.
awesome. Yeah.
I'm gonna
That
drive
is-
around and look for upside down pineapples.
Send him all the pineapples. He needs
Oh,
it. It's been a
I
while.
can't wait to go talk
Oh
to
my
Apostle
God.
about this.
See, it was educational this episode.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, that is what the Lord wants.
Yep.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucked it up. Hold on. Where the fuck did it go? Oh, I found it. Okay, now that is what the Lord wants. Bye-bye.
I'm not editing this.